There's a lot I feel like there was a lot of new music in there. It was definitely trimmed up, tightened.
Tightened it a lot. It was
very tight.
Yes.
In a good way.
The last time I saw it, it was all green screen. We filmed the whole thing in front of a big green screen. And so originally it was all taking place in space, and now it's mostly in a coffee shop.
Yeah, and the
You
stars,
changed it a lot.
Yeah.
and the stars were all just dicks. That's what it was in the script.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
So I miss a lot of the NASA stuff from the first
That'll
one.
be in the sequel.
Yeah.
We have enough for 2 movies.
So about the script, Brad, what made you think of this? What made you want to do it, write it?
I just, I was in Starbucks one day and just looked around at all these people on laptops and said, that's a story. That's kind of cool. And to see why they were there and just explore it, and got this unbelievable cast.
And those people were all writing movies too.
Yes,
That's the irony.
they really were. You see a lot. There's a lot of final draft. There's a lot of final draft on the screens when you see it.
And for you guys, what attracted you to the role or the movie or the script?
Well, I read the script and I thought it was maybe the funniest script I'd ever read.
Oh, you're
I'm not BSing. I thought it was so funny, and it's also rare that you actually see it afterwards and you're like, wow, that's actually funnier, because these guys are so good.
You're great too.
Very good.
And why did you do the movie? What were you thinking?
I wanted to do a movie about space. I did the movie because I read the script, really enjoyed it. Brad worked for a show called Arrested Development, which I had a lot of respect for, and I knew who the other two guys were, and Annie was in it, and we had this amazing cast, and I wanted to try to get in there so I can play with you guys and work with the words that Brad wrote.
Well said.
Yeah.
And we originally thought of Ben for the barista, because we were like, oh, Ben could do a great, smarmy guy. And he was the one that came to us and said, I really want to try the cop. I think I can do that. And he kills it as the cop.
The cop was written, I think the description was muscular Latino.
It literally was.
Sure.
So
Yeah, muscular Latino with a mustache.
I'm the first Jewish person to play a character named Gino. Ever. Literally ever. Yeah, we can applaud for Judaism if we really do. Just relax, guys. Just relax. What about you, Glenn?
Kind of the same thing. I read the script, and I feel like I rarely ever read things that make me laugh as much as this movie made me laugh. And I felt like it was a good opportunity to do something a little bit smaller, not so broad, just kind of like a simple story. And yeah, so I loved it.
There's one more thing for me. I did so many short films with College Humor that when I knew this was going to be Ricky is the guy who started and runs College Humor. When he made his first feature-length film, I wanted to be a part of it so badly because it feels like a foray for that company into something that hopefully will go on for a long, long time. But it felt special to me to be a part of the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Brad, when I was reading the script, I was literally taking photos of pieces of it and texting it to people because they were just like little, the straight is gay thing that went to a lot of people's script. Anyway, so we'll turn it over to the audience if you guys have any questions.
Oh yeah, you have your hand really raised. Yes, ma'am. You want to stand up and ask?
You have 2
Back
minutes.
there?
Are you guys friends?
Are we friends in real life?
Like,
Is it because of the film you're friends, or you're friends before?
I guess.
Two of us are still friends right now. I'm not going to tell you which.
Nobody here.
No.
No one was friends before, but I think like on the first day of shooting, it was almost. Well, you guys have gone to dinner and lunch and stuff.
We went to a coffee. I don't drink coffee, but we went to a coffee shop. Me, Steve, and Glenn when we met for the first time. But I didn't know Andy, Brad. I knew Ricky from doing short films for him for a long time. But did you guys know each other?
no, the first day I met.
First day was our kissing scene.
Is that true?
Yeah, the ecstasy scene. So we got to know each other very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Glenn, if I remember correctly, that took multiple takes, the kissing scene.
Yeah, we
Well,
insisted
with the
on
guy.
I gotta tell this story. So Glenn, God bless him, he said, I'll kiss this guy. How many times do I have to kiss this guy? Because we had a crane, and the crane's gonna like rotate around his head while he had to make out with the guy.
It was a long shot.
And I said 2 times. Let's do it 2 times. Do it once, kiss him, then we'll get one just to make sure it's safe. So, or we have it covered. And so the first one, because I knew we could only do it 2 times, like let's just go up to the kiss, and then we'll cut right before the kiss, just so I can make sure everything's lit right and it all looks right. The problem was I didn't tell this to Glenn. I told this to the AD, assuming the AD would pass along to Glenn, and he didn't. So when we're shooting, and I see, and I'm like, cut. but we're too far away. And I see on the cameras Glenn making out with this guy, and the camera's already been rolling. Oh no. And then I went up and told him. Do you remember this? I went up and told him, like, that didn't count. And he's like, what? What? And I was like, I'm sorry.
The look on your face was priceless.
Hearing the phrase from a director, that didn't count.
It didn't count. So then we did it again, and it looked fine. I'm like, all right, so that's the second time. Let's do it our third time. We do it the third time. The camera's going around, and it hits, I guess, the shoulder of an extra. It just goes like this, and I'm like, well, now that didn't count. So I walked over and say, I got to get a fourth kiss out of you. So it literally went double, and he did it every single time.
I'll tell you guys a little secret. He was a pretty good kisser. He was alright. He wasn't bad.
The other thing about that scene is we had this joke in there, and no one ever hears it. And it's my favorite joke in the movie, and probably the most offensive, where he says, you know he has AIDS, and then people laugh, like when we've done it in the test screenings and stuff, and everyone laughs over what comes next, which is the guy saying you can't get it twice.
Yeah, that's on deep, when people watch it at home.
Deep cuts?
Right there, deep cuts.
That's a side B.
And also, to answer the friend question, I think a lot of us are now friends with Groban, and none of us knew him before.
Yeah, and it's extraordinary to see, he obviously acts in this, but he's a singer, and I went to one of his concerts. It's insane. There's like millions of people there. He's amazing. And he opens his mouth, and it's like a different human is singing out of his person. It's extraordinary. He's an amazing singer.
There's actually a scene when Toby, the guy with Down syndrome, is singing "Happy Birthday" to him, where Phil walks up singing really, really well. That's Josh singing. Actually, we got it. And we just put it in that guy's mouth. That Josh does have his opera voice in the movie. It's just not coming out of his own mouth.
He's such a cool guy. So much fun.
So nice.
Yep.
I have a question. How long did it take you to write it, and how long did it take you to actually make the movie? Like, how long is the process?
It took me 2 weeks. I wrote it really fast. I had written this movie, Yogi Bear, which was then given to a director and shot in New Zealand, and I just thought, destroyed. I just didn't like it at all, and so I like, well, now I have to direct one because I'm tired of seeing movies kind of get not what I wanted them to be. So I wrote it really, really fast, and then we shot it in
5 weeks. And when I was looking for a movie, I was like, bring me the guy who wrote Yogi Bear.
I did get to meet Justin Timberlake. As long as there's a famous singer on every movie I do, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, now we're getting lunch. Yeah, good question. My mom is in the audience. She asked it. Oh, okay. She asked, is this your first time in Montreal?
I've been coming to the comedy festival for years, but I think for you guys, first.
I've never been.
My first time.
This is my
Here.
second time.
It's my second time in Montreal, but my first time at the festival.
The first time I was here, it was the first time they allowed sketch groups to perform at Montreal Comedy Festival, and I had a sketch group called Hot Sauce. That was the first sketch comedy team ever to perform here. No big deal, guys. It was me, Adam Pally from Happy Endings, and Gil was there. That was the first time I was here. People are getting loose. A lot of people have questions all of a sudden. People are getting loose. Mustache in the middle.
Issues around using somebody with Down syndrome, and how did he respond to it, and how did his...
It's that.
Great question. Great question.
So yeah, we wanted to handle it very carefully, and we met the actor, and we basically said like this guy can perform it very well, and there wasn't anything special that we really needed to do.
No, I think my only thing was I wanted him to be okay with it. And we met a couple, we auditioned a couple guys, and the secret of this movie is I didn't want him to be offensive. I didn't want him to be anti-anything, and that's why at the end, this kid, we say the retard world, but it's said in a way that we're kind of owning it and saying you can't say it, and then he gets, at the end, he's the hero, and he actually saves the people. He's the smarter of all of them. He gets them out of it. But when we got Ponce out of Louisiana, he was doing...
Full name Josh the Ponce Man
Josh
Perry.
the Ponce Man Perry. He was doing he still does a web series called Retarded Policeman. So it's actually us pulling him back from PC. Like, he was like, I want to do this one. I'm like, no, that's offensive. And I'm telling him, no, it's fine. But,
Yeah, and we still keep in touch with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he loved it. When he was on set, he was so happy. He had such a great time.
And
It's
But
so funny.
it is that thing, because I remember when I read it, I was a little nervous. And then what Brad did, to make this person the hero and to show respect for it. And his parents were on board. Everybody was on board from the beginning, and to show a great amount of respect for what he's capable of doing and what he did do is amazing.
And I'll say we were still kind of nervous because it's an issue that you want to make sure you handle carefully, and we were nervous about it until the first test screening we did in Burbank, and it was 300 people, and then had a focus group afterwards. And the moderator asked the focus group, was there anything in here that you didn't like or offended you or was a little too risque? And a husband and wife raised their hands, and they said, we have a child with Down syndrome, and we want to let you guys know that you handled this perfectly. And Brad and I looked at each other and were like, what are the chances of this mother and father being in this focus group?
I'm glad I'm doing after, not before. I'm like a hotel.
So yeah.
I noticed you put like College Humor cameos in it. Like I saw Streeter and Josh, but is there any I missed?
It's Streeter and Josh are the two cameos. There's also a cameo of like one of our videos playing when Ben's
in the car, yeah.
Yeah.
You missed Amir, who couldn't come like the day we were. Amir was going to be the security guard in the security guard in the
Is that true?
Cheese, yeah. And like the day before, then he comes, so we put in Lee Eisenberg, who's a great writer and a good friend. But so he played that guy.
Yeah, brother. Red hat. Give like a high five on the way out, real quick. Go. Nice. All right, good. All of them get it. Don't leave for the high five. You can get a high five from this guy anytime.
Our laptop burns a real thing.
Brad, take this.
That was Barry Diller. That was just one note, right?
He's like, is this real? You can't have something in the movie that's not real. And then I took it to Brad, and Brad sent me all these links to websites where like...
It's called Toasted Lap Syndrome. It is real.
Yeah.
It is real. It doesn't happen as fast as that. It happens like when kids play video games for like 8 hours and they're playing, whatever, Warcraft. It does happen. And the funny thing about that laptop burn is we started, the first week we shot him sitting on the steps when the little boy comes up. This was actually my son. And he's got the Mac, because we got the Macintosh computers for free, and Glenn comes up and he says, is this the computer we're using the whole time? I'm like, yeah, we cleared it. And he saved our ass, because he basically pointed out, if you do the laptop burn scene with a Mac, you're going to get in deep shit, because A, they don't burn your laptop, B, they're going to say, whoa, you can't use our... And we're going to have shot the entire movie with Apple things on there.
Yeah.
So he quickly switched it out for the old IBM.
It's a good thing about having an actor who's also a producer.
Yes.
Like, no, you can't do that.
It's a good thing about being a first-time director and having people that are smarter than you going, you're about to fuck up your entire
I remember that then.
Yeah. No, but it actually works, because then it's as if I got a new computer after the laptop burn incident, so it makes sense.
I think we're getting the light. Is that the thing? Should we take one more question?
How much more time do we have? 5 minutes, I mean?
Come say it to our face. How about that?
Let's take 2 more questions, Ricky Van
Right.
Two more great ones.
You pick, Ben.
Andy, what do you want?
Redhead, beautiful redhead in the back.
The one?
That's you.
Right there.
Yes.
You gotta shout though.
I thought you have red hair from here. It looks like
There's
you have
5 redheaded.
Ariel,
Yes, you. Yes.
in a blue shirt, and then we'll do the woman line.
Well, I don't know why, I feel like a sitcom.
Feel a sitcom.
Is this like, have you thought about that?
You know, we were
Brad,
talking
did it
about
start
it.
out as a sitcom?
Yep.
Are you guys in?
For a sitcom.
Yeah, let's do sitcom together.
The very first idea was to do it as a TV pilot, and then just kind of expand it into a movie. When I started writing, I'm like, oh, there's just so much story here. But down the road, we might maybe take it that direction.
I mean, these guys are on TV shows already, so we kind of have to work that out. But yeah, I agree. Like, I'd love to watch these guys just banter. One more question.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Could you comment on the experience of doing a film with a hip shot like College Humor versus a big studio, and what that experience is like?
Very briefly, it's a million times better, because there's nobody, when you do a movie for a studio, there's someone who's concerned about their job. There's someone that we need this movie to do well so I can do another movie and not get fired. No one was going to get fired here. Ricky created the website. It was just, we could do whatever we wanted, which is probably dangerous sometimes, but it was fantastic.
I mean, I guess it's easier for the vision. Like, the vision I read in the script when I got it is pretty close to what's on the screen, and I think at a studio that there's a lot of interference along the way.
There's one more word in the back. I was raising your hand the whole time. What do you got? Oh, well, then this worked out perfectly.
I loved the movie, but this is completely, like...
Is this going to be, you want to ask me after? It's going to be really weird?
We did the room, Parks and Recreation movie.
Can we answer?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
sure, yeah.
And it's for you guys too, but
For you guys to see what you think about my performance.
I know Mike Sure, I can answer this.
Yeah, sure. What's the question?
how, like, as an actor, how do you deal with, like, Amy Poehler?
Wait, how do I deal with them being what?
Like, how do you not laugh in every scene?
Oh, they're that show and this cast as well is comprised of some of the funniest people. That show also is a lot of us are friends for a long time. They come up at UCB. Amy started it. Aziz performed there. Aubrey, and it's like playtime. It's like family. It's like family. I'm growing out my hair because I'm filming again next week. So it's so fun. It's like kids messing around in a bouncy castle. That show is.
How do you guys deal with that? Like, I would not be able to.
It's hard. It is hard sometimes. It really is.
That scene where Josh Groban is putting all that whipped cream. I felt so bad because it was my coverage first and I held it through, and then I got to his coverage and it was later in the day and he kept doing all this awesome stuff off the cuff and I could not stop laughing. It was one of the only times in my career that I was completely not professional. I just couldn't get through it. I felt so bad for the guy.
There's a lot of breaks. I think we'll cut together all the breaks because there's so. Ben did this thing where he never drinks coffee in the movie. He always is smelling.
Never drinks or eats anything.
He's smelling a muffin or smelling coffee or going.
Smelling his hand.
It's the weirdest choice I've ever made in my life. Anytime I have a coffee cup, I lift it up and I sniff it. Never drink coffee. Anytime I have a food, I just sniff it and never eat anything or drink anything in the whole movie.
Yeah, you should start breaking Glenn down, and it's just like, what do you stop?
So
I think they're trying to tell us.
Yeah, they're like literally putting on the next movie.
Thank you.